Hi, I'm Lillian McMorris, and welcome to The Lillian McMorris Show. We appreciate your support, appreciate you viewing, DVR, sharing, all of the things that you do. And thank you to Cox Communications for having us right here on Cox 96. And our show, we begin with a very exciting lady who's been right here in Southern Nevada for a very long time. And anyone who reads and picks up a weekly newspaper, or I think it's like bi-weekly newspaper, knows that if you want your spiritual feeding, The Answer newspaper is what you should be picking up. Please welcome Ms. Toni Terrell, Editor-in-Chief.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited for you to be here, but I'm more excited. I'm going to read why I'm excited.
Okay.
It's okay. From breast pumps to power pumps, take a ride on one woman's journey to motherhood and corporate America. Balancing Act will take you from laughter to despair and back. This transparent, extremely well-written piece is a must-read. After all, it's a balancing act. And that is the name of her new book, The Balancing Act. And that's why I invited her, because I want to talk to the author of The Balancing Act.
Wow.
Wow. I bet that's what you said when you finally finished it, too, wow.
Get it done.
Tell us about it.
Well,
Tell us about what brought it on.
I was excited about writing The Balancing Act because I have 5 daughters, and I've been an entrepreneur all my life, and it was a balancing act for me to have daughters, a husband, a ministry, going through school, and all of the things in between.
Right.
And so I wanted women to know that even though you may have taken a detour, perhaps you've had a baby. I had a baby when I was 16, dropped out of high school, and just went left.
Okay.
And I wanted people to understand that even though you go left, you can always turn back and go back and still acquire the things that you're looking to achieve. And so that was...
What do you want people to get out of your book, Toni?
Wow, I want them to laugh.
Okay.
I want them to be encouraged. I want them to be inspired to do what it is that they're called to do. Many people say, I want to write a book. I want to build a large 2-story building. I want to open up a business for basket weaving. Whatever it is, you can do it. You can do it. And so don't let children, the husband, and all the things that you think you're supposed to have as a woman deter you from doing what you want to do. And that's what I want people to get.
And you know what's really funny is as we read it, you tend to sense, that's me. That happened to me. Or at least someone you know.
Exactly.
And I understand it's an easy read because that's the way you wrote it, so people can relate.
I wanted that to be the case. I wanted people to be able to read it in 1, maybe 2 days, depending upon what type of a reader you are. But very short book. But I wanted people to be able to relate to if you lived in the baby boomer era, then you know of a Marvin Gaye. You know that there have been songs that have made you think about doing things that maybe you weren't going to do at first. And so the book asks you, where do you get these ideas? We talk about different television shows and how you came up with the idea of, I should be married in a white dress and I want to, grow up in a big castle and live happily ever after. And there's no mention of business or work or corporate.
There's no mention of business, work, corporate. What do I go into school for the meeting with the teachers? There's no mention of those things. Right.
And then I also talk a lot about being a mom. For me, my daughters are wonderful. They're all educated. They're all articulate. They're great.
Beautiful.
However, I didn't necessarily enjoy the being pregnant stage. My feet were gigantic. I got acne. My bones hurt. I ate.
My bones hurt.
Everything hurt. So there was nothing positive about being pregnant to me, except for the fact that God intended for it to be that way.
And the beautiful outcome.
Exactly. And then the other thing is, being a mom, 95% of the time you're wiping noses, bottoms, fixing problems, driving kids back and forth to school, going to parent-teacher conferences and going to the musicals.
But you still have to do everything else at the same time.
Exactly. And that's 95% of it. That's really not all that fun. You have that 5% when your daughter goes across that stage and she dances that beautiful dance and you go, that's my kid.
Right.
That's 5%.
That's 5.
And I want people to be honest about it, that it's 5%.
Well, that's what you meant by transparency.
Yes.
Yeah.
So nobody likes to tell the truth about that.
But you know what? Everybody needs to hear it. And honestly, this book, some of the young women need to read and take away from it the lessons of what we've already learned.
Exactly. And I was encouraged that my daughters were some of the first people that came up to me and said, Mom, this is great. Oh my gosh, I should do this. I should do that. Okay, now I know why I don't do this. Didn't know you did that.
Right.
You know, all sorts of things. And so now when you're trying to beat this information into them, they really don't listen. But when you put it in a book and you make it a little bit fun, but you make it serious at the same time, they realize that
Now,
I need to make some changes.
You are a writer. You are a writer's writer. I mean, we've said in the beauty shop, and you're sitting with this little piece of paper about 3 by 5, and you're writing. So the success of that, now for a person who isn't a writer, it probably would be just a little more difficult for them to put their words on paper. But we want to encourage people to do that.
Absolutely. Just write it. There's somebody that's going to be able to fix your punctuation and make sure that your
Proofreader
verb noun.
like me?
Yes. There are people like you
that's
that
right.
will do that. Just
Right.
get it on paper. And I encourage people to journal. It's important that you journal because it gives you the pleasure of writing. It's therapeutic.
And it's your own, and no one else has to read it.
And you
That's
can
right.
go back and
How
say,
can they
God
get your
brought me
book?
from here.
How can everyone get your book?
They can go to www.misstonyterrell.com.
Got it.
Then they can go to Heaven Sent Christian Books and Gifts.
Okay.
And then H&H Barbecue Plus 2.
Of course. We've been talking to Miss Toni Terrell, who's editor-in-chief of the Answer newspaper, but also an author of a brand new book, and it's called Balancing Act: The Executive Mom. And it has lessons learned. The transparency is great. You'll enjoy the read, and you'll sit there and say, I did that. Or maybe there's a passage that you want to share with a young lady so they don't go through the terror and turmoils that we all have. I want to thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sharing your story.
Having me. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
you are so welcome. Toni Terrell, the author of Balancing Act: The Executive Mom. And you can get it on her website at Miss Toni, with an I, T-O-N-I, Terrell.com. Or, of course, as she says, you can go to the, what's the name of the bookstore?
Heaven Sent Christian
Heaven
Books and
Sent
Gifts.
Christian Bookstore, or
Decatur and Craig.
H&H Barbecue 2. Thank you so much, Toni, for
Thank
joining us. We
you.
appreciate it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. 10 Golden Keys to Effective Networking. This book is designed to strengthen your networking techniques. It is an ebook for instant download. Go to LillianMcMorris.com. That's 10 Golden Keys for Effective Networking. The Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada can help you with legal matters. They have a self-help center, so please visit them. If you need representation, it is provided free at the Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada. The Lillian McMorris Show is produced by Tego and Associates Productions, full service productions, corporate videos, websites, commercials, multi-camera shoots, either in our studio or on location. That's Tego and Associates Productions. Give us a call at 702-509-7728. And welcome back. We're talking to Lenny Chai. Lenny's been with us before, and he has a wonderful program right here in Southern Nevada that helps people find places to live, whether it be to purchase or being able to qualify. And Lenny is the President, Executive Director of Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada. Welcome, Lenny.
Well, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Give us a brief overview of Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada.
Glad to. NHSSN has been around since 1992, serving Southern Nevada. We do everything from transitional housing to affordable housing to home purchases, as well as rehab and sell houses.
Correct.
So pretty much anything that's got to do with housing, we do. You know what's funny about it, though, Lillian, is when you go out to fundraise, it's very easy when you're looking at something that's near and dear to our heart, like a disease or even homelessness.
Right.
Which reality is, when you think about it, what we're doing is we're trying to take people out of the streets.
That's right. Give
and
them
put them
a roof.
in a home.
Yes.
Now, most people, when they hear homeless, they're willing to donate. But when you say, I've got a house, I'm trying to help put someone in a home,
Right.
they stop and go, well, wait a minute,
Wait
no one
a
ever
minute.
paid for my house.
Right.
So one of the things that we are doing is having our fundraiser,
Right.
Handbags
for Homes, right?
which will be on May 10th, right here in beautiful Las Vegas, at the Elks Lodge.
At the Elks right there on Charleston.
On,
You're going to be there
Charleston and
all
Henson.
afternoon,
Yes,
right?
ma'am, we will be there from noon to 3.
Okay.
And
Now tell us
basically-
about this Handbags for Homes. How does that work?
Basically, what we're going to have is gently used handbags. They'll be going on in a silent auction on various tables throughout the room. We'll also auction off between 10 and 15 brand new handbags, everything from, I think we've gotten some Coaches, some Guess. I know some of the other events I've done before, we've had Nooney and Burke and some of the other big name brands. But don't let that fool you. We also got some designer handbags from the mom and pop type shows, custom made type handbags.
Right.
We'll also have raffles for everything that you can think of for the home. So we've got folks that have donated linens. We've got folks that have donated like hand towels, and stuff like that. So we'll be auctioning off those items as well. So we're trying to keep it to the home theme.
To the home theme.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
and being a fundraiser for your program, where does this money go? Give me a vision of how the money will go into the program to help people get into their homes. Is this for the classes, for the qualifications, things like
This
that?
particular money here will actually just go into the general fund.
Okay.
The reason I say that is many of our programs, and it's ironic the way grants work. You write a grant, and then someone will give you the funds, whether it's a foundation, whether it's the
Right.
government. But they're always program specific.
Right. Absolutely.
So that's great for the program. What we fail to remember is someone has to administer that program.
Someone has to run the program.
And on top of administering, you've got building costs, electricity, water.
Right.
Those are the type of things that, unfortunately, a lot of times aren't covered by your grants.
That's true.
So that's where we have to rely as a nonprofit on going out, doing our annual fundraising, generating the funds that will come back to help cover that overhead.
That's
the
pretty
cost to run the organization so that we can do all the great work that we do for the individuals here in Las Vegas.
How does one qualify for the various programs that you have?
Most of it is income driven. So basically, when you're looking at transitional housing, you must be 30% area median income. Area median income is something that's set by HUD
Okay.
for each geographic area throughout the nation, your MSAs. For our affordable housing, it's also driven by that, but it's 80%. So you can see there's a little bit of a gap there that you start getting into where it's the 30% for low to 80%, which is your moderate income. For down payment assistance, which we offer, we do have programs that go as high as 120% of area median income.
Okay.
And last year alone, we put in 222 people into homes, families into brand new homes that are new to them anyway,
Right.
with down payment assistance. We did just over $41 million as a small shop, 9 people. We were able to help 222 people. That equated to over $41 million of brand new loans.
What a blessing.
$39 million of first mortgages, and just over $3 million of down payment assistance.
Now tell me a little bit about the classes that they must go to before you do go into the qualifying period.
You know, that's really a great question, because one of the things that happens, we all go to school. And unfortunately, our teachers don't have the time. I mean, they're teaching you the math, they're teaching you the English, but what they don't teach is how to buy a house.
True.
Okay? They teach you how the math would work if you knew how to apply it to buying the house. But we really don't get into those aspects of who we're going to deal with, who we're going to talk to, what we need to know.
Right.
So one of the things that we do offer, we are a HUD certified agency, and we do offer the 8-hour home buyer education classes that basically will take you into who a realtor is, what questions you should ask, what you should know about dealing with the realtor, what you should and shouldn't sign.
Okay.
Same with the mortgage lender. As you know, we've had the scams, which led to some of the cracks that we had in 2008. We're going to teach you the things, the pitfalls you want to watch out for.
Okay.
We'll talk to you about what you should ask the loan officer.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to give the website and the phone number so people who are interested in getting services from Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada, you can go to their website. It's www.nhssn.org. That's nhssn.org, or simply call the office at 702-649-0998. That's 649-0998. That's Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada. And mark your calendar. They have handbags for homes, which is a fundraiser for the programs, and that is going to be on May the 10th from 12 noon until 3 o'clock, and that is at the Elks Club, and that's on Charleston and Hinton, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
It's up in the west area. So it's a whole afternoon. It sounds like fun. Are we going to have any food? You didn't mention food.
We will have some food there, light desserts.
We like food.
Some beverages there. We will have a lot of fun with it.
You don't just let me bid on something and you don't feed me now. Come on.
As one of those folks who's done this quite a bit, the auctioneering and the emceeing, believe me, we will definitely make sure we have a great time, have a little fun with it. but at the end of the day, we'll support a great cause.
Okay, go to the website. You can find out more information on Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada, and perhaps they have a program for you. Attend the classes and find out how you can qualify. Thank you so much, Lenny.
Thank you, Lillian. It's a pleasure.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. 100 Black Men of Las Vegas, would you like to be a member? Giving your time back to the youth in our community. Our #1 project is mentoring. Join 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. There's a membership drive. Call 888-812-5455 for more information. Handbags for Homes. It is a fundraiser for NHSSN on May the 10th at 12 noon. So bring your gently used purse, or maybe you have one that is brand new and you just haven't used it. It will help someone in a program in NHSSN. There will also be silent auctions and other prizes. That's May the 10th at the Elks Lodge. This book is designed to strengthen your networking techniques. It is an ebook for instant download. Go to LillianMcMorris.com. That's 10 golden keys for effective networking. One of the things that I like to do is be in our community and help everyone that I can. And one way that you can help people is give information. Education on the various programs, specifically nonprofit programs within our community, is what I am and have been dedicated to. The program I would like to highlight on today's show is Southern Nevada Children First. And I'd like to welcome Monique Harris.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
How long have you had the program?
We've been in existence since 2007.
Okay. And how many people are you serving right now?
Currently, we have 62 young mothers and their babies.
Oh my goodness. And your spectrum, what age group are we talking about?
We have actually 3 programs.
Okay.
And so in our housing program, we have a transitional housing, a maternity group home, and we have a permanent housing program.
Okay, let's take each one of those. Okay.
Our transitional housing is for youth and young adults that are temporarily homeless,
Oh,
but they
okay.
need long-term care. So we're able to help youth between the ages of 16 to 25, and they're able to stay with us for up to 2 years while we teach
Wow.
them life skills, we teach them parenting skills, we teach them employment skills, and we help them find a job, reacclimate into mainstream society. Our maternity group home is for our younger youth that are runaways, throwaways, or unaccompanied minors and young adults, and that program is up to 21.
Now, do they stay in the home as well, or
They
they
also
just
stay
come
in
to
the
the
home.
program for help?
No, they stay in the home.
Okay.
They stay in the home, and they are taught life skills. That's for our younger clients who,
Got to teach them some responsibility.
correct, who
Okay.
need more assistance, more hand-holding, who are not connected to any mainstream program. So they're not in foster care, they're not in juvenile justice, they're just unaccompanied youth.
they're just
and
there,
young adults,
right.
correct.
Okay.
And then our permanent housing program is for youth that have been identified with having a disability that hinders them from entering into the workforce, or being successful in the educational system, and they too are homeless and have experienced homelessness, what we call a chronically homeless population. And that's individuals who've been homeless for on and off for more than a year.
Oh my goodness. You know, it just goes, I know I've referred young ladies to you who just, and this may be another program, who just needed help.
Correct.
They didn't necessarily need a home, they just needed help.
Correct.
Tell us about that area.
We have what we call a drop-in center, where we have youth that are able to come in and receive what we call intensive case management and resources. So they may just need assistance with being enrolled in school, or assistance with bus passes coming back and
Correct.
forth so that they can stay in school, or diapers
Diapers
or
and
formula,
formula.
those type of things. And so they're able to come and access the drop-in center. They're also able to come and participate in our life skills classes. We have
Now, isn't that a
volunteers.
requirement that they
That's
do
a
come?
requirement for
Okay.
all of the youth that reside with us, but it's also open to youth that may be at risk of becoming homeless or just need those services.
Okay. Now, to keep all of this going, I know you get grants, but grants are usually allocated for this, this, and this.
Correct.
So you have to do your fundraisers. Now, you've got a fundraiser that's coming up on May the 4th.
Yes.
And it's called Artfully Sweet.
Yes, it's called Artfully Sweet. It's our 5th annual fundraiser. As you mentioned, we are grant funded, but we need what we call unrestricted dollars.
Exactly.
And those unrestricted dollars allow us to help a mother or a parent that comes in and has nothing. Whereas if we functioned only under grants, we would have to make sure that they were eligible, make sure that they qualified
Right.
before we were able to help them. And what these dollars do is it allows us to take care of their immediate needs and then get them eligible to fit into a grant requirement. In addition to, most grant funding requires what we call a match. And so we have to match a percentage of every dollar that a grant gives us. And so our fundraisers help to support the grants that we have currently,
Correct.
in addition to supporting youth that don't fall under
So we
the
really need people to
application.
come out
We
and help you
truly
with
need
Southern
the
Nevada
support.
Children First.
Exactly.
And they can make donations,
They
correct?
can. They can go on our website and make donations, as well as purchase tickets for this particular event, as well as find out some more details about the event.
Go ahead, give us some more details.
Artfully Sweet is a fundraiser that we do every year, and it's where we kind of marry the entertainment world, arts with supporting the community. So we have art in various facets. We have Cirque du Soleil-like performances that come and volunteer every year. Last year we had a synchronized swimming act. We had mermaids that swim in the pool and did an act. We also have local pastry chefs that come and donate.
Thusly, Artfully Sweet.
Correct. They come and donate pastries in the form of art, so you're able to look at art. And then we have a lot of local artists that come and set up their artwork. So whether it's body painting or steel art or oil paintings, and you're able to talk to the artists who pull these things together. And we have a phenomenal silent and live auction that we do every year as well. So it's just a day of fun. If you enjoy art and entertainment,
Come
it's
on out.
something you don't
And
want to
it's from
miss.
1 until 4
Correct.
on May the 4th. And you're
Yes.
going to be, this year, going to be at Desert Shores Lakeside.
Yes.
Wonderful location.
Beautiful.
Center of town, basically.
Yes, it is centrally located.
Helping teen moms become great mothers. So that is part of your life skills classes.
Correct. That is a common thread throughout the entire organization. But we also work with teen dads.
Oh, wow.
So we do work with young men and young ladies.
Okay.
Our housing program is geared for the moms only, but our community center is also open to help the fathers as well. So we help dads enroll in school, stay in school, connect them to mainstream benefits so that they receive welfare, TANF, food stamps, child care assistance. We do those things for the fathers too.
So they can show some responsibility.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Where is your community center located?
We're located 720 West Cheyenne, Suite 30, and that's in North Las Vegas on the corner of Cheyenne and Revere.
But you're open to the entire community to come.
Correct. We service the entire Las Vegas Valley, wherever the need is. One of the reasons our organization was started is because there was a lack of services for this particular population.
Yes, there is.
So we are
There still is.
the only provider who has a continuum of care from housing to educational support to healthcare needs, in addition to resources and employment and education training.
Now tell us about the healthcare needs. What do you have?
What we've noticed is that youth that are unaccompanied or homeless suffer the same situations and same issues as youth in the foster care system.
Correct.
So they are youth that have been severely traumatized, have experienced emotional, sexual, and physical abuse, but they're just unaccompanied. So there's no one to advocate or assist to connect them to the services that they need to address their physical health or their mental health.
Okay.
And so what we've noticed in doing this work is that in order for us to create change, you have to change the mind.
That's true.
And so in addition to working with youth that have mental health issues that may have gone addressed, or they may have aged out of the foster care system and now are unaddressed issues, we work with behavioral changes.
Okay.
So we
and the
do-
social skills development
Correct.
and all of those things.
Correct. So we do basic skills training,
Okay.
psychosocial rehab, parenting groups, support groups, interpersonal skills development, individual counseling, and group counseling with the young ladies.
We have been talking to Monique Harris from Southern Nevada Children First, and it's quite an interesting program, and I'm very happy to highlight it here on the Lillian McMorris Show. And they have long-term transitional housing, permanent housing, education and employment training, parenting skills development, social skills development, and any help that a teen would need, and specifically those that have children, maybe do not have a family to fall back on, or if they do, they're just kind of sitting on the wayside and have to make their own way because of a choice that they made to have a child. Southern Nevada Children First. You can find out more information about it on the internet. It is www.childrenfirst-nv.org. That's childrenfirst-nv.org. If you want to send an email and give what your situation is and find out whether they can help you, it's info@childrenfirst-nv.org, or simply give them a call. That's Southern Nevada Children First, 702-487-5665. That's 702-487-5665. Their event is the 5th annual Artfully Sweet, May the 4th from 1 until 4, and is at Desert Shores Lakeside. And go to their website for more information. It has been my pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
And
you.
we thank you for joining us as well. I'm Lillian McMorris, and you can always see the show on LillianMcMorrisShow.com or on iTunes, YouTube, and 38 more places all over the internet. But what we want to do is highlight the people right here in our community. It is my pleasure to serve, give information, and education. I'm Lillian McMorris, and we'll talk to you next time. Your resource at HB, that is your resource at Hollywood Bound. We are growing by leaps and bounds, and we have office space, meeting space, production, technology, all of the things that you need for your office. If you need to rent an office for a day, a week, or a month, give me a call or email me. info@yourresourcehb.com. We will help you with a full-service office. The Lillian McMorris Show is brought to you in part by Louisiana Gumbo and More, located on West Charleston. The best gumbo, fried catfish, salads, and don't forget the po' boys. That's Louisiana Gumbo and More on West Charleston. The Lillian McMorris Show is produced by Tego and Associates Productions, Full Service Productions, corporate videos, websites, commercials, multi-camera shoots, either in our studio or on location. That's Tego and Associates Productions. Give us a call at 702-509-7728.